So a few years ago, I believe it was 2007, my boss was looking over the maintained graveyard we had at our property, and he said all the grave markers had been grown over by weeds and stuff, and they needed to be cut one more time for that year so that we could be able to find where all the plots are. So that's all fine and dandy, right? But the only problem is you can't see them to get them. So you would have to use something, you would have to find some way. You could either do the whole place with a weed eater to find all the grave markers. A lot of them are really deep under even dirt and grass. So there really weren't any options left. And he had said that he used to have a metal detector and that'd be perfect for it. And I had mentioned, I was dumb enough to mention that I had a metal detector actually that I just bought, an Acer 150, which I got because I do like metal detecting. I find it relaxing. It's kind of like it's kind of like in the same vein as someone would like fishing, but I think a little funner because I don't really like fish as much as I do like antique metal items. But so then he told me to go on out there and metal detect the graveyard and find the places. I had metal detector in one hand, weed eater in the other. Found all the plots. I cut them up so you can see where the marker was. But I mean, it was just awful because the whole day I was out there, and you get the worst looks when you have a metal detector in your hand in a graveyard. You just look like a total asshole. There's no going back from that. People will give you these looks like you're just worse than a rapist. You feel like just nothing. You feel like nothing. Someone who's tampering with the dead. But I wasn't. I was just trying to find the grave markers, but the looks were awful. And that's a little bit of my fault too. I should have never opened my big fat mouth. But he has the nerve to make me go out there and look for these stupid grave markers. You an asshole, you douchebag. I mean, it's easy to tell someone to do something stupid when you don't have to do it yourself, when you don't have anything to do with it. You can just watch from your ivory tower, and that person has to dance like a little monkey. And I danced, and I hated it every minute of it. It's hard to explain, but I felt like there was a rock in my gut the whole time. It just was a burden, and I just was a mess during the metal detecting in the graveyard. So yeah, my boss is a douchebag because he made me metal detect in the graveyard to find plot markers. Yeah. The graveyard wasn't my job too. It was someone else's, and they had let it go. They should have been metal detecting in the graveyard. They should have. But my boss doesn't care about all that. All he cares is it gets done. He doesn't care who does what. As long as it's magically done at the end of the day, everything's good for him. Talk to you later. My boss is a douchebag.